Hello and welcome back to Rain Check. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after the group went to Javier's apartment. We got even to see Javier's bedroom, seeing that he's a big... He's obsessed with model airplanes. He gets easily flustered when you bring it up, and the fact that he's very smart and stuff like that. We'll be able to see a little bit of that in this video too. We also got an impromptu apology from Ro for being so forward with Theodore. Which honestly I wasn't expecting, but like yay. What else? Well, yeah, Theodore is officially, not officially, but officially part of the group now, or at least this case. And for the remainder of the week that he is there, he's going to be assisting in whatever way that he can. And in this case, he's going to be assisting with basically the whole... obviously, I don't want to spill it yet, but the whole Lawrence case thing that he has. So, yeah. Anyways, so without further ado, let us continue Rain Check. Here it is. It's just down the block. We got here faster than I thought. There was practically no traffic once we crossed the bridge over. That's because no one actually visits this part of the city. It's crime infested. And a perfect location for her guy to be hiding. You two can get off first. I'm gonna park across the street. Fine. I hope I didn't notice how quiet it is, slowly understanding what Javier meant. The rain stopped, so we'll take this time to survey the surroundings. This place is eerie. I point to the buildings down the street. What's with the stores? They're all barred up. That means that they're closed. It's to deter burglary. I don't think that I've ever seen anything like that before. I can tell that you never lived in the city before, have you? No. He sighs and shakes his head disapprovingly at me. Well, come on. I don't have all evening. He motions for me to follow, and I do my best while stepping over the large puddles and cracks on the ground. So, what should we be looking for while we wait? Entry points to the library. What do you mean by that? The Vox points to a large building right across the next intersection. That's where the library is. Do you notice anything strange about it? Strange? I stare at it for a moment, my gaze bouncing back to Javier, expecting him to tell me at any second. Oh wait, there's no entrance. Do we need to know a special code to enter this kind of speakeasy? I'm not sure that I wasn't able to find any additional information on entering this particular speakeasy online. Seems more secretive than I initially thought. And it's said that the person that we're looking for will be there later tonight? Allegedly. So much secrecy. The fox takes out his phone and discreetly snaps a photo of the building. It would be in our best interest to map out the area and look around. What about the narrow alleyway by the side? It's too small for any cars to drive through, so perhaps... Ugh, this is going to make head counting a nightmare. Head counting? We're going to need to keep track of who leaves and comes in since we have a particular target. The large wolf shows up behind us as he's staring at the library as well. Right, and it's going to be hard if we don't even know what the entrance looks like. Correct. The fox stares at Ro expectingly. Well, you wanted to come here early. What's the plan? You see the coffee shop just across the street from the speakeasy? Theodore, why don't you go in there and try to see if you can spot anything from inside? Javier and I will map the perimeter. We'll need these then. Javier pulls out the same earpieces from before and hands me one, which I put on firmly. Okay, sounds good. The three of us walk down the street silently, and when I reach the coffee shop, I split off from the pair. Perfect, there is a vacant table by the window, facing directly the library. I notice a few customers dressed in black on the other side of the store eyeing me suspiciously. I didn't feel safe out here, and I don't feel safe in here either. Maybe I should order something to better blend in. I decide to get a small cup of coffee and keep an eye on the window. After a short wait, it's ready to pick up, and I hurry to seat myself. Okay, I see you guys. I'm by the window. I see the two quickly glance over at me before they go back to inspecting the building. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that the building was an actual library with how it's designed. There's a fire escape by the side of the alleyway. Maybe you guys can check that out? It looks like it goes all the way up to the top of the building. The two turn the corner and spend the next couple of moments examining the side. Doesn't seem to be anything there, and it's not like we can reach the fire escape up there either. Suddenly, a hidden wall in front swings open, revealing a man walking out onto the sidewalk. Wait, guys, go back in front. I just saw someone come out from the wall. Where? Is there any handle or anything? The two walk back and examine the wall. I can see Ro trying to feel the surface with his paws. There are no handles at all. I just saw the wall swing out in front of where you guys are standing. Only thing that we can possibly interact with is this slot. I can't make out what Ro is referring to from this distance, but he's leaning forward and pointing towards something to Javier. The wall suddenly swings open as Ro pulls it open. Using the book drop slot as a handle, huh? Very clever, but I'm more impressed with how they made this door look perfectly machined and flush with the rest of the wall. I watch the two enter the inside, the door resetting back into place. What is this room? Looks like your living room with how many bookcases there are. What do you guys see? Some kind of foyer, decorated as a reading room. We haven't made it inside the actual bar yet. Although I'm tempted to go through all the books here, I think we should go reconvene with Theodore. Lawrence should be here soon. All right. I look around the shop and notice the men from earlier now staring at me, their gazes fixed in my direction, one of them even pointing at me. I have a bad feeling about this. I should probably get out of here. I get up and quicken my steps to the door as they start to walk in my direction. I speed out as fast as I can, spotting Ro and Javier making their way towards me. How's the coffee? Oh, this? I haven't even taken a sip yet. I just got this to blend in. But I don't think it worked. I look behind me, the men gone from sight. What's the matter? Nothing. There were some men dressed in all black that were staring me down. Might be some muggers looking to start trouble. Didn't expect this place to turn into such a shithole so early in the night. Let's stick together from now on. I look over to Javier, who has his phone up next to his ear, off in the distance. What's Javier up to? Voicemail. Apparently Lawrence tried to reach him earlier. Why didn't he try to call... never mind. Anyway, we're just waiting for him to show up now. Right. He should be here any second now. He left me a voicemail saying that he's coming a bit earlier. The three of us scanned the streets for a few moments, searching for any signs of the Grey Wolf. Look who it is. Ro directs a scoff in the direction of the limousine, which has pulled up not too far from us. Lawrence steps out, gestures to someone inside the car before he spots and waves us down. He has a limo driving him around. Isn't that a bit... Don't get me started. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all again. Skip the formalities. How uncouth. Lawrence gazes at me inquisitively and breaks into a smile. I heard the news. Seeing that you're here, I assume that you're part of the team now, Theodore? Yeah, I am. Just temporarily. But of course. I was not expecting you to be joining us, but it matters not. The more the merrier. Thanks. More importantly, did you get a chance to read over the report that I sent you? You masterfully crafted intel logs. I read the first few pages. I was extremely occupied today. I will get to it as soon as I can. By the way, have you three just arrived as well? I do hope my presence wasn't overly anticipated. We got here not too long ago. We were just scouting around the location, mainly looking for the entrance, which we found. Ah, yes, the book return slot. I forgot to mention that to you guys. If you're aware of the entrance, do you know how to get past the bookcases once inside? Can't say I do, but it's nothing Rudy can't solve. Who's Rudy? Ah, Theodore, that's right. You don't know about these glasses. Removing his glasses, Lawrence quickly polished them before sliding them back on. Javier, maybe you'd like to explain to Theodore since you were the one to skillfully craft them. Wait, Javier made those? The fox's gaze shifts between Lawrence and me, visibly pleased by our compliments. Sure. Rudy stands for Rapid Understanding and Diagnostic Yield, and it's an AI that I created and integrated into those AR glasses. I knew Javier was smart, but I didn't know that he was this smart. It's capable of perceiving the world and deducing the facial and environmental cues on demand. Wait, if it can do that, then why don't you have a pair, Javier? I was planning on creating a newer model for myself, but I never got around to it. It just so happens that when I created Rudy, Lawrence was around in the office to test it out, and insisted on purchasing it from me. Hey, I know an investment when I see one. Now let's walk and talk to the speakeasy, shall we? There's much to discuss. With Lawrence and Javier leading the way, I spot Ro shaking his head as we follow them. I can see why you don't like him now. You want to know why Lawrence bought those off of Javier? Why? Ro's intense gaze remained fixed on Lawrence, his fangs peeking from his maw as he growls. It's 'cause he can't think for himself. He's just another spoiled brat without those damn glasses. Ro walks off without saying another word. I toss away my coffee as we enter the library, the wooden floor creaking as we all enter the cramped room filled with bookshelves. It definitely looks like a library with how everything looks. There's even a small reading desk and a chair in the corner. There's no visible door that leads to another room from here. This is what we saw earlier, Theodore. Something tells me that we have to find another hidden door here. Can't we just wait for somebody to exit from the inside like earlier? No need to wait. Rudy, help me find a way in. Lawrence puts on his glasses and scans the room, looking at every single object in sight. I see... There it is. It takes no time at all before the Grey Wolf motions at a particular book on a shelf right next to me. That one. I turn around and pull at the book, quickly noticing that there is no title on the cover or the spine. Ah, there's a small button there. The fox, whose head is level where the book was, reaches into the gap and presses the button. The bookcase suddenly starts to slide open, revealing a long, narrow hallway. As easy as that. I recommend we split up and occupy different sections inside. We don't want to look too suspicious, grouped up together. I'll be on my own. You three can work it out amongst yourselves. The Grey Wolf leads ahead with Javier, strolling down the hallway with Ro shaking his head, and the two of us following behind. Damn, this is a library, especially with the bookshelves lined around the walls. There is a lot more people here than I expected for a place with such an obscure entrance. Some of them are dressed in suits, while others appear more casual, similar to my own attire. Lawrence is already sitting by the counter, talking with the bartender. I just scanned the lobby. Looks like we're good on hidden cameras. Also, looks like there is a set of stairs on either side. I'll go check it out. If you guys notice anything suspicious, try to get a picture at the very least. Javier trots off, leaving me alone with Ro, who's thoroughly surveying the place. What about me? What should I do? With me, I have a bad feeling about this place. Let's sit there. Might be a good idea to keep an eye on the entrance. He points to a couple of lounge sofas just a few feet away as we make our way over and sit down. You drink? No. This is actually my first time at a bar or speakeasy. I see. I'm gonna order us something. What do you want? Cola is fine. Ro waves over a tall, slender otter server dressed as a librarian from another table. 2 colas and a tall glasses, and keep the change. The wolf hands over a bill before the otter happily bows and returns to the counter. Hope this helps us blend in better than you did back at the coffee shop. I return a nervous chuckle while casting a glance around the room, making sure that the men from earlier aren't here. So, you got a cola too? I thought that you were going to order a beer or something. No, I was going to say, best to be sober during the investigation. And not like him. I follow Rose's gaze and spot Lawrence, who's already downing a shot glass. Oh no, that can't be good. Guys. The fox's voice suddenly startles me, making me jump. Turns out the upstairs is a rec room, and it's packed. There are several reading rooms up there, which look like private VIP suites. I'm gonna stay up here and check it out for the time being. Got it. You know, for a place that's supposed to be a library themed, it sure is dark in here. How can anyone read any of these books unless they're sitting underneath the lights? They probably don't. It's just for decoration. Oh, that reminds me. I should put on those contacts you gave me. Contacts? I gave Theodore the old pair in your safe. You went through my safe? Yes, now quit babbling. You're going to give yourself away. I pull out the small contact container from my pocket. Do I just put those on my eyes? This is your first time? Yeah. I recommend going to the bathroom and using the mirror. Right. I chuckle nervously, my paws growing clammy. Do you think that you could put them on for me? I don't think that I have the guts to do it myself. He looks at me like I'm joking, but obliges when he realizes that I'm not. Alright. I'll need you to look up. I do as I'm told when Rose scoots over and positions the contact so that it's right above my eyes. He pinches one of my eyes open, followed by a quick soft pressure which causes me to flinch. He does the same, placing the remaining contacts on my other eye. There. I blink a couple of times and blush when I notice just how close Ro is to me. Well? It feels weird, but at least there's no discomfort. Not yet, at least. My eyes adjust after a few more blinks until I am able to focus on distant objects. Wow, it definitely is a lot brighter. I can even make out what's in the shadows over there. Good, now keep your eyes peeled for anything suspicious. I nod back, understanding the task at hand. I spend the next few moments surveying the lounge area, but don't spot any suspicious individuals. If anything, I'd say that we're the suspicious ones. Everyone's here chatting and enjoying themselves. The otter eventually comes back with our drinks, and I see Javier not too far behind approaching us, his face panicked and flustered. I think I'm being followed. Javier's voice is barely audible over the ambience as he flicks his eyes to the side, signaling someone behind him. I look behind the fox and only spot Lawrence making his way up the stairs. Who? I don't see anyone. Don't laugh, but they're... Hey... Daddy. Huh? Ro nearly chokes on his drink before giving an incredulous look at the fox. That certainly caught Ro off guard. What the fuck are you talking about? Hey, isn't that what you call them? What happened? Well, as you know, I was upstairs, taking photos and mapping out the layout, while I tried my best to eavesdrop on patrons. I may have stuck my head into a private reading room thinking it was empty, but it wasn't. And that's when they started following me around. The fox lets out a shiver and tries to regain his composure. I made a mistake poking my head in. That man gave me the most lustful and desired gaze that I've ever seen in my life. I do not enjoy the sensation of being followed and objectified. Thank you very much. Listen, just tell him that you're not interested. Tsk. Easy for you to say, you're massive. Oh. There's a large Arctic fox with an interesting choice of attire slowly making his way over from around the corner. I think I spot the man Javier's talking about. This should be interesting. Greetings. What is that thick accent? I have to strain myself to pick up his words. And what's with his attire? He's showing off so much fur. He really is a daddy. He grins and then gives a short bow towards us as I try not to stare at his chest. I don't know if it's just because I'm sitting down, but the way he's towering over Javier is ominous. Listen, whatever you're trying, I'm not interested. But I am. Surely there is reason within you, little fox. Little fox? You're funny. Now get the hell out of here, you creep. My, there is such strong fire that burns in you. Surely you must accompany me tonight. I see Ro trying to hold back a laugh. He's enjoying this too much. What makes you think that I'd spend a night with you? Javier points at the man, but his paw gets intercepted, the white fox leaning over and planting a kiss on it instead. Ugh! Filthy, filthy, filthy! Javier's face is completely red and flustered as the man goes in and kisses Javier's paw again. Javier tries to yank his paw out, but the man's grip greatly overpowers him. Suéltame, pinche pervertido! Ah, so the fox is cultured as well. So clever and passionate. Get out of here, you creep! Should I step in and do something? I look over at Ro, who's silently studying the man carefully. Why isn't he doing anything? You wound me. Fuck off! The large fox shakes his head disappointingly. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to bring someone as keen and well-spoken as you with me tonight. Javier stumbles into my arms as the man releases his grip. This is messed up. I should speak up. Just as I'm about to say something, Ro holds me back and gives me a look. Could you give us a moment? I've been waiting the entire night. I suppose I can wait some more. Great. The wolf brings us into a huddle, his brows furrowed with confusion. Help me get this fucking guy out of here. It's not funny. Hold on. I swear that I've seen him somewhere before. It's on the tip of my tongue. Shit, this is going to bother me. Huh? What are you talking about? Is there something that I'm missing? I don't think that I've ever seen someone like this before in my life. I have an idea. Javier, ask him who he is. What? Why don't you ask? I don't want anything to do with this creep anymore. That's the thing. I don't think he's a creep. I've seen his face somewhere before. Probably from the porn you watch. No. And it would be better if you ask, since you're the one that he has his attention on. You can fish more out of him. Javier shivers and leans in towards us, his expression stern as ever, as he whispers. What the fuck? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? We have an investigation to do. Enough of your antics. So if you could so kindly help me get rid of this man, I would greatly appreciate it. What if I ask him? The two stare at me in surprise. We just want to know who he is, right? Before the two can stop me, I turn to face the white fox, who's patiently staring at us. Excuse me, but just who are you? You seem familiar. He suddenly bursts into laughter, a deep and robust sound. Yes, you may have seen me before. I would not be surprised if you saw me on the news or online. Oil these days is such a controversial topic, yet the demand for it continues to grow. God damn it, I remember now. You're Magnusson, aren't you? Ah, yes, but please refer to me as Magnus. No wonder you seem so familiar. How could you tell? Your clothing gave it away. Javier's jaw drops at the mention of the name. You're Magnus? You're so much taller in person and exotic. Sorry, can someone fill me in on what's going on? Magnus is the founder of the Delta Antarctic Expedition. Wait, that sounds familiar. Did I read up on something like that earlier? The one and only. Javier's amazement slowly fades and is replaced with suspicion. What could someone like you possibly want from a fox like me? You look like the smartest person in the entire establishment. All I really want is companionship and help. That's a funny way to say sex. You got some weird kinks, old man, grabbing my hand like that. You fucking millionaires are all the same. This time it's Magnus who's flustered. I think that there may be some miscommunication here. My deepest apologies. English is not my first language, not my second either, and I am still learning the Western culture. It is only how we pay respect to beautiful men and women. Where the hell is he even from? A likely story. But what the hell is someone like you doing here? I come for DAI. There was someone that I was expecting here tonight to help me, but it seems like they are not here. I need someone clever and smart for a dinner party that I am attending tonight. It is difficult being so far away from home, not knowing a single face. There isn't much time left, so I will be going. Javier stops and thinks for a second before returning to stop Magnus from leaving. Wait, I'll help you. Ro and I lock eyes, both of us equally confused. What the hell is going on? Magnus reaches out and holds Javier's paw and kisses it again. You should have told me that I was in the presence of such an influential man. Apologies for my remarks earlier. I thought that you were someone else. Ah, splendid. Not to worry, I promise you we'll enjoy the night. Let us take the back exit out. Even with my casual clothes, I prefer to keep a low profile. Those clothes are anything but low profile. Back exit? I wasn't aware of one unless you're referring to the staff-only door. Yes, how clever. I think we are going to get along well. Now, let's depart. Javier turns to us, his voice is low as Magnus starts walking towards the back of the building. I'm going to see what I can find out from Magnus. I'm not sure why he needs someone with him, but he must be working closely with the other companies at TAI if he's here. Hopefully I can find something about Cypress and Blackout. Sorry for leaving so unexpectedly, but I've only managed to put one in one at the last second and there might not be another opportunity. Go. It's not like the task at hand is demanding. Great. Theodore, I trust you will cooperate nicely by Ro's side. I'm still processing what's happening, but I managed to respond with a small nod, though Ro looks visibly annoyed by Javier's remark. Javier quickly strolls off around some bookshelves, disappearing from sight as I return a dumbfounded look at Ro. So, are we not going to talk about what the hell just happened? What in particular? About how Javier suddenly agreed to be taken away by some rich old guy with some strange accent? Who the hell is he anyway? He's a philanthropist who made a fortune discovering oil in Antarctica. Definitely was not expecting him to be here. Oh, no. He's one of those guys. He's not your type or something? Yeah, no. I mean, what? What are you talking about? Why is Ro teasing me at a time like this? Anyway, what do you think he wants with Javier? He said that he needed someone capable and smart. No idea. The man's loaded with money, and I'm not sure why he doesn't have bodyguards around. Unless he was banking on being incognito the whole time. That whole interaction felt so surreal. You're not worried about Javier? No. But now that I think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if we ran into other business tycoons with the convention happening. He mentioned that he was waiting for someone, but said that they never showed up. Must be business related unless... Unless what? Who knows? I look back at Ro awkwardly, imagining what Magnus and Javier could be doing at this very second. Listen, I can tell that you're worried, but Javier's more than capable of outwitting people. And if what Javier said is true, then I expect him to smooth talk information out of Magnus tonight. Well, if you're not concerned, I guess I shouldn't be either. He can manage, so let's continue with the investigation. I didn't notice anyone enter or leave since Javier came over. Do you feel comfortable going upstairs to fill in for Javier? Yeah, no problem. But I thought that you're supposed to keep a watch on me at all times. It should be fine. I trust you enough. Besides, Javier's not around. Okay, good. I'll be here. Just as I'm about to get up from my seat, Rose's large paw grabs onto my shoulder and yanks me back down. Shit, what the fuck are they doing here? Hmm? I follow Rose's gaze and spot a familiar looking polar bear accompanied by a snow leopard, now without a mask. Is that Christopher? And the snow leopard from the power plant? Shit, follow me. We slowly scoot down the sofa and towards another table until we're just out of view behind a bookcase. Ro picks up some books and tosses one to me. Hide your face. I follow his instructions and we shift our attention back to the duo, who are now ascending the stairs. What the hell is going on? Why do they look so buddy-buddy with each other? You don't think that they're friends, do you? Fuck. You might actually need Lawrence's help. He was by the counter earlier, but I saw him go upstairs not long before Javier came over. Ro takes out his phone and proceeds to call Lawrence begrudgingly. Lawrence, I need you to come back down here. There's something urgent that we need to discuss. I don't care. Just come. Ro hangs up and shakes his head disapprovingly. What did he say? Like it matters. It's not long before we catch sight of Lawrence turning a corner, meticulously polishing his glasses as he approaches. Where the hell were you? Actually doing work instead of sitting on my ass. I was so surprised you called me Ro. What is this, like the second time that you've done that this year? How irrational of you. Cut the crap. There's something that we need to discuss. Well, isn't that why you called me over? What is it? This isn't going to end well, is it? There are two people of interest that we need you to watch over. Lawrence raises a brow, his gaze bouncing between us. Go on. A snow leopard, a polar bear. They went upstairs and we need you to see what they're doing. And why can't you two do it? The snow leopard tried to kill us yesterday when we went to the power plant. And the polar bear is a security guard at the Grand Marine. He also knows what Ro and I look like. Lawrence appears shocked for a moment, but swiftly regains his composure. I see. What? I'll tell you what. Of course I'll do it. But only for you, Theodore. He gives me a grin before turning around and making his way upstairs. What was that about? Ro emits a low growl and crushes the now empty cola can in his paw. And I guess we just wait now? Ro passes me his phone as he gets up, the floorboards squeaking as he does. I'm gonna speak with the bartender. Reply if Lawrence says anything. Okay, sure. Ro's phone is opened to a proxy contact with Lawrence, the last message received appearing to be months ago. Minutes pass before Ro's phone suddenly vibrates in my paws, a new message popping up on the display. I see them, but they're not talking about anything specific. This is such a waste of time. Coming back down. Wait, so fast? He's not going to wait and see what they're going to do next? Hi Lawrence, this is Theodore. Could you stay a bit longer and see what they'll do next? I really don't think it's necessary. I would rather use this time to continue with our main objective. I'm just about to reply, but I catch sight of Lawrence coming down the stairs, his attention snapping to the counter. The Grey Wolf approaches Ro, who was engaged in a conversation with the bartender. Based on Ro's expression, it's safe to assume that whatever Lawrence is saying isn't good. I can't quite make out their conversation, but it eventually comes to an end and Lawrence walks off, disappearing around the corner. Ro notices me observing, quickly returning to his usual composure as he adjusts his suit and heads back. Was Lawrence being difficult again? Difficult is an understatement. If he wasn't in ARC, I would have strangled him by now. What did he say to you? That he'll be leaving soon. Wait, what? Wasn't he responsible for this part of the investigation? He was assigned it. Exactly. How can he just leave? Did we even find anything tonight? The wolf shakes his head and stares off in the distance. He's leaving in 20 minutes. Said that he had something to take care of back at the office. Rose sighs, clearly agitated. Hey, that's okay. I'm still here, although... I kind of realize now that we're trapped down here. We can't really go upstairs, not until the two leave. Oh, and here's your phone. The wolf glances at his screen as I return his phone to him. We'll stay down here then. We don't have a choice. Maybe we could spread out downstairs and cover as much angle as we can. For a moment, I could swear that I saw a look of relief on Rose's face. Sounds like a plan. It's been over 30 minutes of spying and eavesdropping now, and I can't pick up on anything. Speaking of which, I haven't seen Lawrence either. He's probably already left by now. I hope my phone doesn't die. I completely forgot to charge it while I was at Javier's place earlier. I pick up the book that I had taken out earlier and pretend to read as I continue to people watch. Quick, follow me. Huh? Where? What's going on? Did we find something? No, the polar bear left. It's just a damn cat now. Wait, they didn't leave together? No, they didn't. We should take this chance to trail him and see where he goes. Ro walks out discreetly and I have no choice but to follow. But what about our main objective? Fuck that. If he wants to walk away from his own assignment, I don't see why we can't either. Ro peeks around the corner into the alleyway and motions me to go. This way. The narrow back streets are riddled with puddles, making it extremely difficult to traverse undetected, but somehow we manage. Surprisingly, it's not that dark, and I am able to spot the outline of the snow leopard just down the lane. I signal to Ro that I see them, and we both hide beside a large, moldy dumpster. They're down there. I think they just took a right. I'm about to continue my advance, but Ro holds me back firmly. Careful. We don't know if he's armed. Best to wait for him to turn the corner. I don't want to take any chances. His low voice barely above a whisper, and I take this opportunity to glance over the dumpster. Coast is clear. My paws begin to feel wet and clammy as we continue following the snow leopard around the corner. Please, nerves, not now. Rose slowly leads the way down a narrow passage, which opens up to a wider but more cluttered back alley. I'm getting bad vibes from this. I try my best to pull Ro into a small doorway when I notice a snow leopard seemingly stop up ahead. Curious, I decide to check again to see if he's moving again. Oh no, he's not moving, I immediately duck down and hide as I notice his head turn. I think he's onto us. Are you sure? I don't know. Fuck, get ready just in case. Shit, there's nowhere left to go. We're stuck. The sound of footsteps intensifies and I can't decide what's louder, the pounding of my heart or the echoing footsteps in the narrow alley. I observe Ro, his body tensed against the wall, ready to tackle at any moment, while the tension in the air becomes almost tangible. I carefully inch myself away, trying my best not to get in the way, but freeze when I notice the footsteps have stopped. Ro and I exchanged puzzled looks before my blood runs cold at the sound of a menacing snarl. Come out. I know you're there. And no funny business, unless you want your head blown off. Crap. We've been spotted. Ro looks at me and shakes his head before he slowly steps around the corner, raising his paws up as he does. Well, would you look who it is? Not surprised it's you, you persistent little fucker. Who the fuck are you anyway, following me around? Hey, I'm talking to you. Answer the fucking question. Or are you deaf too, shithead? Shit, this is not good. I can't even see what's going on. I jump as the puddle in front of me erupts from a loud bang that suddenly rings in the air. Crap. I clap my mouth shut but realize it's too late. Ha, fucking knew it. Whoever's hiding around the corner, come out, or your wolf buddy here is gonna get it. I slowly rise and step out with my paws out, just like Ro. I knew it. Fucking cunts. And where's your fox, bitch? The snow leopard slowly approaches us, his revolver bouncing between Ro and me. He peeks around the corner from our hiding spot and lets out a chuckle. He doesn't matter. No one can save you now. You, wolf, get on your knees and face the dumpster, your paws behind your head. Do it, or I'll fucking blast his brains out. I feel my heart sink as he points the pistol to my head. Rose slowly inches his way over, but suddenly leaps towards the snow leopard. A deafening bang fires off, leaving me momentarily disorientated as I crouch down, paws instinctively covering my ears. Was I hit? Am I dead? No, I don't feel any pain. I open my eyes to witness Ro pinning the snow leopard against the wall, engaged in a fierce struggle to restrain him and wrestle the gun from his grasp. Despite Ro shouting something at me, I struggle to make out his words over the deafening ringing in my ears as I get up. The two struggle, trading blows to one another as they fight for control of the gun. Shit, I need to do something. In a panic, I pick up the nearest thing and run over as fast as I can. I swing down with all my might, and the trash bag that I grab comes crashing down on the cat's head. It doesn't do much but create a momentary distraction, allowing Ro to snatch the gun from their paws and deliver a swift kick, sending them to the ground. Ro points the gun at the snow leopard, bringing an abrupt end to the fight. What the fuck is blackout? You think that I'll answer to a bitch like you? Ro doesn't respond and slowly steps back. Do it. Shoot me. You're as pathetic as the rest of them. Them? Who's he talking about? His voice is haggard and breathless as he struggles to catch his breath. What's blackout? His demented laughter echoes through the narrow hall, causing my fur to stand on end. Ro cocks the gun, and all I do is stare in nervous anticipation. Is that it? That's your question? You really don't know. What kind of fucking worthless spies are you? Ro doesn't budge as the snow leopard slowly stands back up and slowly pulls out a knife from his pocket. Oh, so you really don't know. You fuckers really are dense, you know. Buddy, you're wasting your energy investigating the wrong people. We're on your side. Answer the question. We all turn towards a piercing screech. There is a black van that comes to an abrupt stop further down. Is that the police? Are they with the snow leopard? For a split second, we all stare, expecting something to happen. Nothing. The tinted black window slowly rolls down, and before I know it, I see Ro lunging towards me, practically tackling and knocking me down. There is a sudden chaotic cacophony of sharp, staggered pops fill the air, followed by a sharp pain as Ro falls on top of me. The sound of a distinctive metallic clatter emanates around as the seconds pass. It feels like an eternity has passed when the noise finally subsides. What the fuck just happened? I try to get up, but feel something tight bind my body, preventing me. Ro holds me tightly, a look of pain across his face as he winces back at me. Ro? What are... My breathing quickens and my eyes widen as I realize what he's done. Tears well up as Ro's grip on me weakens, and he starts to lose his balance, falling backwards onto the ground. No. 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 My body trembles, my eyes darting around, but there's no sign of the car or the snow leopard, only a trail of blood winding down off in the distance. I crawl over as swiftly as my trembling limbs allow, a heavy sense of dread settling in my chest and as I desperately assess Ro's injuries. With one paw clutched to his chest and the other shielding his eyes, his pain is evident, and the grim reality of the situation weighs on my heart. No. Ro. I attempt to pull out my phone, and I call for help, but the screen remains dark and unresponsive, a cruel twist of fate that leaves me feeling utterly hopeless. Frustration builds up inside me, and I throw my useless phone against the wall, letting out a loud cry of despair. Help! Somebody! Anybody! Please! He's dying. My voice chokes as the tears start flowing down my face. Wait, his phone. Rose's phone. I kneel down and carefully search Rose's body. My paws, stained with Rose's blood, tremble as I manage to retrieve his phone from his coat pocket. No, this has to be a joke. Please. I let the already damaged phone slip from my trembling grasp, and in that moment, the severity of Rose's condition becomes painfully clear. There is a small pool of blood forming around Ro, and I shake my head incessantly, unable to come to terms with the harsh reality unfolding before my eyes. Please. Don't die on me, Ro. I need to stop the bleeding. I need to stop the bleeding. I need to save him, but I don't know how. I try to pull Ro up off the ground and prop him up against the wall, but I'm too weak to even budge him. You can't die? No, you can't die, Ro. I let out a gut-wrenching yell, my voice raw and strained to the point where I can taste the metallic tang of blood in my throat. Somebody! I need help! I need help! Please! Anyone! My voice fades and I'm left whimpering, kneeling beside Ro in despair. Our gaze meets and I witness a tear welling up in his pain-filled eyes. His paw rises slowly to gently brush away a tear from my cheek, and then he offers a bittersweet smile. Theodore. His voice is faint, so I lean in, trying to hold back my tears as much as possible. You're safe. Shit. I can't move. This might be it for me. Rose's breathing becomes more labored and starts to cough up even more blood. My voice is hoarse, and it's excruciating to speak, but I push through the pain to force myself to continue for Ro. No, don't say that. You'll be fine. His chest rises again, but the effort in each breath reveals a struggle to convey something more. Ro. I shake my head in protest as I try and control myself. Please, you need to save your energy. You need to live. I reach over for his paw and squeeze it tight, his warmth slowly fading. Tears suffocate my voice and I see Ro closing his eyes, a weak smile on his face. Fuck. I'm so sorry for dragging you into this. This was my fault. Please forgive me. It was fun. Theodore, His paw slips from my grasp, and I watch in heart-wrenching horror as his body lies completely still, his chest motionless. Ro! I try to yell out, but I am barely able to make any sound at this point. I frantically pound on Rose's chest, hoping by some miracle that I'll be able to resuscitate him. Please. Please. What were you thinking, Ro? Why did you save me? A paw suddenly grasps onto my arm just as I'm about to swing again. What the fuck is going on? I look up and I can barely make out Lawrence, his face contorted in horror. My eyes well up even more and I can no longer contain the overwhelming emotions as tears start streaming down my face besides Rose's lifeless body. Lawrence, Ro. I choke on my words, my voice too coarse to make out anything intangible. Lawrence rushes over to my side and examines his body. The paramedics are on their way. A sudden pang of pain and dizziness hits me, and I start to lose my balance. Theodore, your leg. I glance down and see the side of my leg covered in blood. I've been bleeding this whole time. I've been shot too. There's a sudden wave of dread that rushes over me, and I stagger to keep my balance, my body feeling as if it might give way. Theodore? Theodore! Stay with me! Don't move! The grey wolf shakes me, continuing to shout, but his words blur together in an incomprehensible noise. I attempt to shout out the chaotic world around me, desperately seeking a moment of stillness to catch my breath. I must be dreaming. I need to wake up. The feeling in my legs slowly numbs, the noise of the world slowly fading, and I feel time crawl to a standstill. I'm sorry, Ro. I'm so fucking sorry. This was all my fault. To be continued. Rank check. Did I accidentally skip over the Patreon? I think, oops. I wouldn't say it's your fault. I mean, it's not as if you made that happen. Obviously this is gonna be like the guilt thing where it's like, oh no, if I wasn't there, if I was smarter, if I was stronger, then you wouldn't have gotten shot. So glossing over Ro's probably not really dead moment, because he is, one of the main characters. There's a whole thing where the snow leopard is apparently doing something that makes him think that he is on their side, but then again, he doesn't know who they are. So, I mean, we don't even know who the snow leopard is aligning with. It is also entirely possible that perhaps they don't know what is actually going on, that they're being misled, speaking both on the side of these guys investigating and the snow leopard doing whatever it is he's doing. Perhaps the whole little backup thing wasn't so much a backup for the company that they thought that he was working for. Blackout, maybe it was another group that is investigating them or something. I don't know. Lawrence's little disappearance act is also a little suspicious, and I'm wondering if there was a reason or another real reason why he decided to just bounce. I'm kind of curious if he decided to lie and tell them, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go home, like I'm done here. And instead, he overheard that the polar bear and the snow leopard were gonna part ways, so he decided to sort of step out before the polar bear would leave in order to be able to trail him properly. So there's that. I mean, if he's working for the same company or agency or whatever it is that Ro and Javier work for, then that means he must be good, right? Unless the company is also bad. The agency, whatever it is. What else? It was nice to see a little bit more of Javier's character, his personality and stuff, seeing that he's easily flustered if you know the right buttons to push. And apparently those are very, very easy buttons to push if you... Well, he's a lot more normal than he likes to make himself seem. He kind of likes to be like the loner, like, no, I'm smarter than everyone, like, stay away from me, whatever. But apparently he has his little hobbies and little things like that. He's also from Mexico, so, I mean, I technically have a Mexican accent. It's just not as thick as it would be for, say, someone like Bear, who is really thick. with the accent, because his primary language is Spanish, whereas mine is English. But I grew up speaking Spanish, where his is Spanish, but I ended up learning English. But anyways, yeah. There was a survey that went out a while ago that did ask some questions about the story, and one of them is what we would like to see added. And one of them was like, would you like to see a side story that's sort of like the Halloween one, where it's technically non-canon? Would you like to see something, I forgot what the other one was, that was also non-canon? But what I was interested more so in are the two options for canon material, where it's a canon side story that's similar to the Halloween one, but that's actually related to the story, or a canon backstory story that would be for the characters. And I am more interested in that one because it would be able to give us a bit more insight into the characters, and it sort of removes the burden of having to add it into the story, like having to have like those little exposition chunks of the story that allows the story to more freely move. Like they can mention like, oh, Javier is from this, he did this, but then have a side story where it expands on that within the extras, like over here, where upload is it archive? Yeah, within the archive. So like have it either unlock as the story progresses, or just, well, yeah, actually it would probably be better to have it unlock as the story progresses. Which would give us more information about the character, allowing us to be a bit more to be more invested in them, I guess is a good way to say it. I mean, because obviously you can flesh out the character within the story, obviously. You can take Theodore from like a little mousy character who's just like, oh, I don't know what's going on and whatever, and then like build him up as the story is doing right now, where he's trying to be a bit more proactive in this investigation because he wants to feel a bit more useful. He wants to get a little bit closer to Ro, obviously. But let us see how he was before he went, on this little trip. Why he was so reserved and why he felt a little bit meek. And if I recall correctly, but I'm probably misremembering this, he mentions that, and this might actually be from the first build too, where he got a ticket for this whole little convention thing from his friends. So they all of a sudden said that they couldn't go, so maybe it was sort of decided that they kind of wanted him to go so that he just gets out of his bubble, maybe, because he was also kind of like depressed from the little life that he was living. So maybe they did that, so maybe they could show that happening. Maybe show a little bit more about Ro interacting with Lawrence on their first case or something like that. Maybe showing when Javier and Ro are first paired together. Those would be like really interesting stories to see that allow us to see a bit more of the dynamic of these characters prior to the story. But yeah, Anyways, so, what are your thoughts? And obviously you already saw the channel members on the bottom, but, it's worth mentioning, channel members. They were there. I'm going to try to remember to instead have the channel members at the beginning of the video, because that's when you're most likely to see it. Some people probably don't stay and, hear me talk. So I'm probably going to start mentioning them at the beginning, which was the thing that I was supposed to do with this video, but then I was like, oh, it's too late already, whatever. So yeah, so hopefully somebody reminds me that I need to put the channel members at the beginning, not at the end. Anyway, so thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Rain Check yourself or stay up to date with it, then I will be posting down in the description the links for the main Rain Check VN Twitter page in the description, which should have a direct link to the HIO page where you can download it and play it yourself. Or you can just go to HIO and do that yourself. And I will also be posting down a link for their Patreon. I think they have one. I'm pretty sure they do. Where you can get early access to builds of Rain Check yourself. and possibly influence how the story progresses. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you have more say if you're a Patreon than if you're not. But yeah, so all those links will be down in the description along with my other pertinent links. So just if you want to look, just click description. You'll see it down there. You'll also see the little button if in case you want to join the channel as a member to see these videos ahead of time. You might also have noticed already that, like, oh, look, there's a new video, there's a new update right there, but I can't watch it because I have to be a channel member. Then, well, there's a link down there in case you want to do that. It's a month by month. And it has to be the second tier if you want to do that. There might be also Discord access if I ever get around to setting that up. What else? I forget. Anyways, all that stuff is down there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, I guess. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.